Okay?
Yep. All right. That's better. Actually, that feels really good.
Really?
This is Coop from GarageGymReviews.com, and today I want to talk about Mr. 3000 himself's body tempering, and that is Donnie Thompson, the first guy to total 3,000 pounds in a squat, deadlift, and bench in a meet, and his version or his method of body tempering, what I think it is, some of the tools you use for it, and kind of some misconceptions I see around it. Let's get into it. So the body tempering idea is something that was created by Donnie Thompson. Donnie Thompson, for those that don't know, is an absolute beast under the bar. He's the first man to total 3,000 pounds in the squat, the deadlift, and a bench. Yeah, that was suited, but I don't care if you're using a crane. Lifting 3,000 pounds is insane. So Donnie Thompson knows a thing or two about strength. Donnie Thompson is also a pretty good inventor of equipment. He came up with the fat pad, which is my personal favorite bench pad. He came up with the fat bells that are also the C&Bs that Sorinex makes. I use both of them. And he also came up with the bow tie from Spud Inc. and now body tempering. The issue with body tempering in the past, though, is that body tempering tools were too expensive to get made. But before I go into the tools, let me tell you kind of what it is. So most people have heard of or use some sort of foam rolling. And the idea is that you basically mash your body against a foam roller or PVC pipe covered in foam, something like that. And the idea is you're supposed to like work out knots, and basically it's a type of, although very easy on the body, version of IASTM, which is instrument assisted echo. What does IASTM stand for?
Thanks for your feedback.
Shove it. Echo. What does IASTM stand for?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, well, Echo doesn't know it either, okay? So IASTM, simply put, is like a way that you use some sort of tool to work on the muscle fibers. Body tempering is pretty much the same thing. The difference is, rather than you being the weight that's applied to the foam roller, the weight is actually on top of you. So rather than having it take an active stance, and because you're on a foam roller and you're the one moving, you're the one pressing against, you're having to use some sort of musculature to do so. This allows you to completely relax, and Donnie Thompson says it allows you to get to the core or the structure of your body, because no longer are you tensed up when this big weight is rolling across you. Now, I wanna preface this. I've used body tempering for probably about a year. I'm not crazy consistent with it, but I do use it often, mainly before I lift, or like if a little bit after and I'm just like laying around and I wanna basically work on my body, I'll do it. That said, from an evidence-based standpoint, I haven't seen any articles, any peer-reviewed research, or anything that suggests that body tempering provides long-term changes. That said, after I use body tempering, after I roll this heavy cylinder across my body, I do quote unquote feel better. Now, I don't take that to believe that it's actually doing something long term. However, placebo effects can be beneficial. I mean, it's just true. However, Donnie Thompson isn't really even situating it that way anymore. He's saying this is used for strength preparation. So basically the idea is you're mashing your body and you're quote unquote tempering it in the same way you temper a piece of steel into a blade, and the more you hit it, the stronger it gets. So you're like, basically you're mashing your body, crushing your body so that it's stronger, more tempered under the barbell, okay? It sounds good in theory, it really does, but at the same time, I don't know if it's true. So with that said, up until this point, the device that you would have to use is a big roller. And the rollers that Donnie Thompson initially released or brought to the public was what he called an ex-wife, an ex-husband, I think he had a couple other words. And they're basically just heavy pieces of machine steel. Well, other companies have come out with devices that you can use to do the same thing at a much more affordable price. So I think the first people to do this was Chris Duffin and Kabuki Strength. They came out with the boom stick, and they now have the mini boomer, they have the pain pill, but none of those are really up to the weight that you really need to basically get a large part of the body and do what body tempering was designed from Donnie Thompson's standpoint. So your issue was do what I did and look around your neighborhood. I went to local schools to see if there's anything. I was just like looking around as I was basically driving to see if I could see anything that worked. Well, I ended up finding this big 160-pound cylinder that's sitting right here. I'll see if I can. Ooh. Man, this thing's heavy. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just this big cylinder. Yeah, the thing's loud, but it's just a big metal cylinder that was used to block people from parking in a certain spot, and it's filled with concrete. So I use that. However, most people aren't going to do that. So the commercial options that were available are kabuki strength, and then now there's others available. And the first one is the Rogue Fitness DT tempering roller. And this is really the legit tempering roller. This thing is sweet. So this is a cast iron version. This is really the most affordable version that's available. This was done with Rogue Fitness in conjunction with Donnie Thompson. And it's a roller that comes in various sizes. The one I have is 44 pounds. I think they go up to 80 pounds right now, but I'm sure they're gonna have multiple increments depending on how often they sell. And it just works well. I mean, the fact of the matter, it's a pretty simple piece of equipment. It's just a round cylinder of weight. They've added some features like adding exterior grooves that are supposed to, you know, help dig into your skin and like grip your fascia so you can dig that out better. Does that work? I don't know. It also has a concave center to avoid the spine. I really like that. And then best of all is how easy it is to maneuver. They have, it's cut out in the middle so you can grab it, and there's a little lip there so you can grab it and maneuver it if you're doing it yourself or if you're working with somebody else. Because if you're doing it on yourself, it's much more difficult than say getting your wife or a training partner to do it for you. But then the other version is one that I really like. It's from Forge. It's called the Forge, and it's a plate loadable version, okay? And I think this really, if you're not gonna buy a lot of them, you just want one piece that's pretty versatile, this is really a great option. So it's about 35 pounds. It takes Olympic plates, it takes Olympic collars. It starts, I think it weighs around 35 pounds. It has lips on the inside so you can maneuver it. The only problem is you're loading weight on there, so the height of the device is dependent on how tall your plates are. So it's great if you have a bunch of 5-pounders and you can just put a ton of 5-pounders or 10-pounders on there, but most people don't have that much, so you're gonna have to resort to buying 25-pounders. And if you buy 25-pounders, they're gonna sit a little bit more off, so you can't do some of your smaller body parts like your forearms and things like that. But for your major body parts like your quads, your hamstrings, your back, things like that, it works really well. But this has been Coop from GarageGymReviews.com. Let me know what you think of body tempering. Have you tried it? Is it something that you think is just bro science, or do you think it's something that's real and it's something worth actually doing? What do you think of the new tools? And let me know what you think of the video. Thanks for watching. It's Coop from GarageGymReviews.com. See you soon. Peace.